Fitting your TT exhaust. It's not so difficult really. So what we've got on here is a TT Mk9 already in place, but I'll show you how to get your old one off and make sure that everything is tip-top when you fit your new exhaust. Now, the original one that we're on here to start with will be probably rusted into place, so you most likely need an angle grinder. Well, it's really handy if you've got one, because some of the bolts will turn into little pyramids of rot. So let's get underneath, and you can see here the Mk9. Okay, this is the flange that will cause you no end of trouble. The bolts don't go this way round. On the original they stick through the other way, so the nut will be on that side there, and they will have turned into little pyramids of rusty hate. So what you need to do is cut a little bit, or basically just cut them off if you're going to throw the exhaust away, but cut them off and not damage the flange of your catalytic converter. Okay, so just cut the nuts off. 1, 2, 3. Alright? Okay, so at the other end, there will be a bracket, not like this, the bolts go next to each other. Now what happens normally is if you put a socket on it and undo it, they will shear off because they're so rotten. So take those two off, and then when you've got that off, what should happen then is you can take the bracket off and slide the whole exhaust that way, and so you get it off. If I can get it on the camera, those mounts there. Likewise, those two screws there, that screw there and the other one, will probably have rotted into the boot of your car. So if you take those off, you might find it difficult. It can either snap or round off, so leave those be. Okay, that's why we made this a bolt-on event, so you can very, very simply put it on, take it off by squeezing it through there. So when you've got your old exhaust off, and remember to take the strap off the original, it's probably fallen off by now anyway, but take the strap off the old original, and also the little bracket that goes on the back of the downpipe cat. So when you see the cat, there'll be a bracket that has to all come off. If it's still on there when you put the exhaust on, you're going to have troubles. So you get your exhaust, you take it out of the box, you take this off and you slide that on with a little bit of 3-in-1 onto that rubber there. This should hang down on its own. Then you get the rest of the silencer and feed it underneath the bumper, and then feed the exhaust out through the holes, and then slide on the whole silencer onto the equivalent hanger on the other side. Just let it swing loose for a minute. Then you loosely tighten these two bolts here, okay? Just loosely put them on. Then you get round to the other side. That is the, where are we? These are the nuts you need to thread through. Don't tighten them up yet. Just have them on, I'd say, finger tight. That bracket there is what you're sliding the exhaust onto. Okay, so that slides on, you hook up the other side, you loosely tighten up the two bolts on the right hand side, then you put these three things in. Don't make them super tight, just finger tight. Then you measure it all up so that the exhaust tips are both at the same height and are in and out of the exhaust, out of the bumper rather, to the same amount. So what you do is you line it up from here. I use the badge, and you can see standing next to the badge that the exhausts are about right, and then you tighten up those two nuts holding the bracket up. You do those first, and then you tighten up the 3 on the flange, and that's it. Your exhaust is fitted and you're ready to go. Have fun.